All right, man. Tino Cochino Radio, dude. I was just telling these guys off the air how dope it is, like that this came along like so organically. I've been following this guy on social media for a minute and seeing the movement, and I'm like, yeah, like this guy's from Texas, Latino, country vibes. Like this is crazy. And then a mutual friend, shout out to the homie JT Campos, Boaz, who's in the studio as well. He kind of linked this up. He's like, you should reach out to Smooth Vega, and I've been following him for a minute because all of his podcast content. And so boom, boom, boom. Dots connected. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Louie Thesinger's hanging out. Damn it.
What's up? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's up, man?
Man, just blessed to be here. AZ, it's been a cool little wait because I was supposed to be here in June. You know, things happened, and but look, we're here.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it seems like you're everywhere. I was watching like clips this morning. I mean, I think what's cool too, you've been doing what seems like a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't really do TV anymore. And I think that's such a win. It's like, I don't know why they bypass it. I think because people pop on social, they just keep it at social. I love that you're actually, doing radio and TV.
I think it's one of those things you have to still kind of be a commercial act rather than just a viral act, So, and I've been thankful enough for my music to be more of a well-rounded, it's okay for the kids and the family to listen to. And then the homeboy from the block is still, jam out. So, it's just, maybe that's the blessing, or maybe it's just all around God, But yeah, being on the news is kind of surreal. My PO always said I'd be on the news. I guess you got that right.
No, that's dope in a positive way.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I want to get background info because I see everything popping like online, and that's all,
right,
a win. But for people that are just kind of finding out about you, I kind of want to know, like, the start of it, the upbringing. From Texas originally.
Originally from Texas, born and raised.
And you get into music at what age?
Oh man, I got into music at like loving music.
Like just messing around, maybe playing. I don't know. How some kids had a little Fisher Price microphone, be singing into it and shit.
2 years old, 3 years old. Yeah, like my mom still has pictures and videos of me running around singing Michael Jackson, Garth Brooks, Selena, with the cowboy hat and boots and a guitar running around the house. Yeah.
At what age do you like decide like this is something you really want to pursue versus just like a hobby?
Well, I would say for sure around 17, 18 years old. Hobby for sure when I was a teenager. I started writing poetry when I was real young, and it was I had went by another name, and a lot of my poems were about my real life experiences and things I grew up seeing, and it was a lot darker than what I would read. And so I started writing the word love backwards, and I had got Louis Evo, but that was the young me, and that was the kid that saw the dream, wanted the dream, and needed the dream. And me as Louie Thesinger, as the man version of that artist, it's my job to execute it. And so now I'm here. I feel comfortable in my lane. I feel comfortable doing the music I do now. It's just different, man.
It's funny, or not funny at all, but I was gonna say, like, as guys, right? Like it's always such a, we don't go through shit. We're guys.
Yeah.
And I think what's dope about you is that you're very transparent and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like we have a mental health podcast. It's called Is Anyone Listening?
Nice.
And so basically, like our show, we have a weekly audience of about like 5 million. And I had got that number, and I remember one day I was like in the shower, and I was just like, man, even with an audience like that, like if I died tomorrow, would anyone care? And then I was like, well, damn, why am I thinking about death and what's going on? I'm young, I should see someone. So I started going to therapy, and once I started going to therapy and really like reevaluating my life and why I'm here and what I want to do, I feel like became just kind of true to myself, and all the other negativity didn't even matter. If someone didn't like me, okay, who cares? Or you're going to judge me because I wore this, or it doesn't matter because I'm so comfortable with where I'm at that it doesn't mess with me. And I feel like you're like the same when it comes to music.
Yeah, I mean, really what it is, to be honest with you, I'm comfortable where I'm at as a person.
Yeah.
And it just comes out in the music. I tell people all the time, there's no way you can know who you are as an artist if you don't know who you are as a person. Because who you are as an artist should be a projection of who you are as a person. But a lot of people, they got to throw on this facade when they go on stage. They got to put on their interview voice, and they got to talk like, whatever the hell.
Bro, I did that when I was I'm 36 now. I don't feel like I found my comfortability like on the radio until maybe 30, 31. Before that, I was like programmed, hey, the fucking Kiss FM, man. Here's fucking Julie. You know what I mean? And now, like, I feel comfortable. Like, this is just me.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And then I feel like once you have that comfortability, you're the best version of yourself.
Yeah, man. Once you stop caring what other people think, and like just doing you, man, it really don't matter as long as like you comfortable with God and like your family's good. To me, in my eyes, like you're comfortable with that's going on. Really, literally nothing. And prison did a lot of that waking up for me, like realizing who was there and who wasn't.
I know you have kids. Were your kids in the picture while you were locked up, or did they come after?
Yes, my son Luis was actually born while I was in prison. The first time I ever held him was in a visit.
I wanted to ask, man, because like I prison affects people so many different ways. My dad was in jail for a long time when I was a kid.
Right.
And my grandmother, God rest her soul, I love her. She raised me, and she best woman in the world, but she did not like my dad. And she always did everything to like drill like what a bad person he was, because he was in jail for some really messed up stuff. Right. But outside looking in, I always knew the person he was, and it never affected, like, it never tarnished my view of him. Right. How is it for you while you're, because you kind of have that dad perspective I can get, while you're in jail and your kid's out, what was that like? Or like, how do you mentally stay sane?
Lord knows sometimes I did it, you know. It was hard because, you know, as a father, you promise your kids a lot, man. And promising my oldest son that I'd always be there was something that my dad had promised me, and he didn't. He wasn't there, you know. The drugs took him. And when I let prison take me, it was like the same promise broken, you know. My son was getting older. When he was going to turn 9, we had an agreement that I put him in boxing, like I grew up boxing and stuff. And unfortunately, he turned 9 while I was in prison, and he went through his first little scuffle at school. I felt like the worst, you know, like I wasn't there to protect him. I wasn't there, like I you know. Now my son's bigger than I am, you know, and
that's crazy.
The thing between me and him is he knows, like, I did everything so they didn't have to, you know. And my other son's mother said it the other day. She goes, "Now I get that." She was like, "This is the man I've been waiting for you to be." And you know, Lord knows that if I could take back anything that I did to be there for my kids, I would. The only reason I wouldn't change things is because, you know, butterfly effect wise, I don't know what would change different, you know?
Well, it's so weird. I feel like you have to go. I feel like the strongest people have to go through the worst shit.
Yeah.
Because it adds to your character, and then also for the people around you. You're the one that has, like, you bear the cross basically.
Nah, yeah,
for them to see
sure.
that and be like, I'll never do that because he did that.
Yeah, I tell my sons to always use me as a compass, you know, to not where not to go, you know, like. When I say I literally did it all so they didn't have to, I literally did it all. Like my son's, you know, he's 14, so he's going through those situations where he finds himself in certain situations where the old me has to come out and talk to other dads and, you know, other people and let them know, like, man, this is not what you want. Don't come over here with that because this ain't what you want.
Yeah. What's it like for, I mean, if he's 14, he's on TikTok, he's got to come across your videos just popping, even when he's not trying to. Like, is it weird? It's
funny because in the beginning, like, he would, I don't really talk about it or whatever. And then now I'm hearing from other people that, like, he's like, you know, like he kind of, it's cool to him, you know, like, and, you know, they ask him, can you sing too? And my son can sing, you know, and I mean, it's new to him, you know, because they ask him, like, you know, what's it like him being, he's like, he's just my dad. Like, you know, which is different because, you know, he sees me walking around, you know, stomach out at the house, cutting the grass. He's having, you know, just getting orders from me. So if anything, they're like, hey, what's it like Louie Senior being your dad? He's like, oh my God, annoying. You know,
it's funny. I feel like it's like that for every celebrity, bro. There's I saw, it's one of the specials with Dave Chappelle, and he was saying that his kid doesn't give a shit that he's Dave Chappelle, but like anytime Kevin Hart's around, he's like, Dad, introduce me to Kevin. He's like, man, fuck Kevin, you know who I am?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care, I want to meet Kevin.
It's funny because my son's actually like fans of some like rappers from my city, you know, and just because he was a fan of them, I reached out, you know, and I did songs with them just so my son could meet them and stuff like that.
That's really cool. What's the love been like locally?
Oh man, I can't go nowhere.
I bet.
Yeah, I can't even go to IHOP. It's beautiful. It's dope. You know, like I used to be, I don't like to say it like that, I used to be hated in that city. Like, you know, me and my cousins would walk into a bar, man, people would start leaving. They already knew what's up. They know what time it was, you know, and like, you know, I would show up to certain places, man, you know, and people didn't want to be around me, dude. You know, like you build that bad image for yourself, and to have people, you know, finally see it. It's one thing to change, but it's one thing to see people see the change. Like, it makes me feel so good in that, you know, because you spend all these years doing negative stuff. You think that you're going to just fix it overnight. You might have to do that many years, then some, just to convince people, like, look, I'm not that old guy no more, you know? So it's beautiful. Like, I love it, you know, and the chances I get with, like, elementary schools to, like, just drop off, you know, backpacks and stuff, and then be like, no, stay for it. And I'm like, man, I'm not here for the credit, you know? I just wanna drop off some stuff.
Was it jail that made you flip the switch, like, in your head of wanting to switch things, or do you have, like, a defining moment that was like, yo, I gotta
I do have a defining moment. Unfortunately, it wasn't prison all the way, because I got home, man, and, you know, I did try to work, but they wouldn't hire me anywhere. When they did, they fired me because I was a felon, like, and it was just one of those, you know, fidgety situations. But it was a time, man, I went through a really bad breakup, and I remember when she left, I was in the apartment, and I had no way to pay my stuff or whatever. My lights cut out, dude. And this is really crazy how it works. Because I actually was recording myself to make like an inspirational video to let people know, like, man, like, I'm going through a hard time, but you can too, whatever. My phone starts dying, and I'm like, oh, crap. So I run to the car, and my car isn't running out of gas. So I have like damn near about like probably like $6, you know, in my account. And I remember being like, cool. I call homeboy up. I'm like, man, look, it's been a cool little couple months, but I need something. I know I said, but look, because I would tell them like, man, if I call you, don't give me nothing.
Cut me
don't.
off.
Yes. So I was like, man, I go do this play. Man, I'm gonna have the bills paid for the next 3 months. I'll go shopping, take the kid. I would take the kids to eat or something like that and make myself feel better. But that was not that that you can't feed them off of dirty money like that. So I remember being like, dang. So my phone was dying, and I was like, let me go inside right quick, change up and stuff like that. And homie texted me back, said just pull up. When I went inside, my lights were on. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? So I look online. Well, they had charged my account again. My money from DistroKid ended up coming through. And it was like it was a weird situation because it was connected to my PayPal.
Like perfect timing.
Yeah, it was God's timing. So it was like I went in there and then it was like, man, I started breaking down. I'm like, dude, I had enough money to eat, right? I went, got food and a 6-pack, and I went back to the apartment and I went live on TikTok that night and I made $100. And I told myself if I could do this every night, even if I'm singing for 3 or 4 hours, it's what I love to do. And it's not dirty money. That $100 was worth thousands of what I was about to make, and it's gonna last longer. And it's not illegal money, And I just wanted to leave that life, dog. It's not easy, man. It's really not when it's all you know. Like, and then it's a pride thing. You get out and certain people are like, man, nah, you can't sell here no more. Oh yeah, show me I can't. I'm finna be on the way, homeboy.
Ego's the worst, bro.
Yeah, man.
Ego
it's our defeat.
Devil.
It's our defeat, bro. And I was just tired of being tired, man. And then I remember my dad right before he passed, that was the last conversation we had. I never heard my dad say those words. His exact words were, I'm tired, man. And I've never heard my dad say that. This dude used to be up on an oil rig at 4:30 in the morning, Snapchatting us with a 45-pound weight saying, get up, get some money, boy, lazy ass. It was just funny because I'm barely going to sleep,
Yeah.
And, my dad knew what I did. And he would tell me too, man, cuídate, man, like, careful, dog. Like, just when you're out and about, man, just be careful, boy. That's it. And it hurts because I could never tell my son that. If I ever found out what my son was doing, I find out who's giving it to him, and I promise you, he'd never give it to him again.
Yeah,
that was it. But
so crazy, man. I mean, it's cool that you can kind of break that vibe. I mean, obviously, you have the respect for your dad. And
I love my dad,
but you just want to do better. Yeah,
I love my dad, but there are times, I'll be honest with you, where I questioned him, but it's the way he was brought up too. Their family's from Mexico, bro. Like
bro. The thing I've learned in therapy. And it don't matter how old you are, 99% of all your trauma and bullshit is from childhood and how you were brought up.
Yep.
And it's just the realest thing. And I feel like when people understand that, like what works for me, like my therapist was like, listen, every time something bothers you, take a second and process it and be like, what is it that actually made me mad about this? And now think about the first time, try and go back in your head and find the first time you felt like that and what was it? And every time I've done it, it goes back to some childhood shit. And then I'm able to actually think about it and be like, okay, I'm good. Like my mom and I didn't talk. I don't really talk to family at all. My mom and I used to talk maybe 4 times a year, dad twice a year. And keep in mind, he was my hero as a kid.
Yeah.
But then when I turned like 18, it just kind of, I think again, male pride, he kind of steps away. He's like, you're a man now, do your thing.
Yeah.
But my mom, once she started to like listen to the podcast and she started using that as her therapy, I was able to kind of talk to her and tell her, listen, I forgive you for anything from back then. Let's just rebuild. And now we have a cool relationship. But we talk and text and she's on Instagram and shit and sending me emojis and DMs. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's weird. I'm the same way with my mom. My mom and me, I was always my mom's son. There'd be I'd go without talking to her for months and she would call me, hey, such and such, like the guy she's dated in the past, such and such is doing this, I'm on the way. She always knew she could call me, but me and my mom we weren't very close. We clashed heads too much, and me and my dad were like brothers, and so up until recently when my son and me started talking and I realized like I wish there were things I could take back, but I can't as a parent moving forward. That's when I forgave my mom.
That's awesome.
And I wrote a song called Put It Down, and it was about suicide. I tried to kill myself April 14th of 2018.
Damn.
It was my grandmother's birthday. It was like a month after my dad had died. And it was my way of like just saying like, damn, I talk about my mom in the song. I talk about her issues and stuff like that. But I let her know. I sat her down. I said, hey, if you don't want me to put this out, I'll reword it, and just wanted you to know. And she told me straight up, she was like, I messed up, and I don't mind if you put that out.
That's dope.
It was
again, you went through the hardest shit to now help so many people because
we're close. Me and my mom are close now. Like my mom would never go up to bat for me if I was never right. And now that I'm just living the right way, I'm seeing my mom just on the phone with baby mamas and stuff. No, y'all better because he's doing this and that. My son's holding his own. He's doing what he needs to do. So it's cool. Me and my mom got the relationship now. It's cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I think it's cool too. Just to touch on real quick, you were talking about having no money at this one point, $600, and trying to figure out. What?
Dude, I had
what do I do? $6, excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm giving you too much.
It was like it was like 6 something. I just remember looking at it and being mad, like this is not even Taco Bell.
But now, here we are. You got a $10,000 giveaway going on. You're giving out $10,000.
Yeah, man. Me and Gomez Western Wear are giving out $10,000. And it's not about likes, followers, comments, whatever, you know. We just wanted to see who can post. Of course, it's marketing with the music, but I wanted to find somebody that needed it, a family. Maybe it's a couple that posts it and they got 4 or 5 kids. You know, we get messages all day of why they need it. Some people just say straight up, man, I want to go on a vacation, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, $10,000, you can go on a couple vacations, you know? So yeah. I just, you know, even when they told me, they were like, let's do 5,000 and then 25 and 25. I'm like, no, let's do $10,000. That could change somebody's life for a long time. Like, start a small business, it becomes a big business, you know? And who knows, maybe 30 years from now when they ask you, how'd you build all this? Oh, man, this guy was giving a giveaway, Louie Thesinger. You know, and you know, just stuff like that, man. Because I mean, this ain't even mine. This is God's. You know what I'm saying? So people know me. Like I don't even, man. I wear these clothes are sponsored, dude. I'm blessed for them to give it to me. And other than that, I'm wearing dirty clothes all day because I was at a ranch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is.
So for people that want to, you know, participate in the contest, what do they got to do?
I got a record called Until You Came Along. All you got to do is use the sound on any real type, you know, video, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Tag me and Gomez Western Wear DFW. That's it.
And we only got a couple more days, right?
Yeah, we're actually going to pick the winner this Sunday, and we're going to give him a $10,000 check at Gomez Western Wear DFW.
And I mean, that's perfect timing too. I mean, we got, you know, Halloween right away. We got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas. I mean, bro, 10 grand right around this time. Yeah, like you said, change someone's life. So that's super dope.
That's the goal, man. Really.
Talking about big things too, man. I'm from Lubbock, Texas, and Texas Tech's out there. They have this insane, you know, stadium out there, and they just, if you're in Lubbock, Texas Tech is it. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing else but Lubbock and fucking Josie's. Shout out to Mama Josie's enchiladas. But you got a show going on out there.
Yes.
What's happening?
Man, so we're doing the Texas Tech game. Shout out to Goo, Paul Wall's management. He kind of put that play together for us.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so real thankful for those guys. They've been doing a lot for me, and my manager's got a good relationship with them. So they hooked that up big time. And it's crazy because, you know, like, you know, my mom always wanted me to go to college. I guess here it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, there you go.
You know, like, it's cool. You know, we're going to get to go out there. I'm performing 2 hours before kickoff. So I'll be outside performing. They said they expect 3,000 to 5,000 people. So
people go out, bro. Anything Texas Tech related, there's gonna be someone there. So you will have an audience for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Like, I mean, it's college town. It can get crazier than that.
And then on top of that, bro, I mean, just, you know, you just mentioned Paul Wall. You have a record with him. Mm-hmm. You got a record with freaking Chris Bettis, which is, I mean, just ridiculous to me. How does that even happen? How do you link?
So I posted online, you know, I wanted to do a song with Chris Perez. Do y'all want to make it happen, you know, for the fans? And then my manager's got a good relationship with him because he handles his booking. So he called me and was like, yo, send me the record. That simple, like, type, you know. And then I was like, bam. You know, and at the time, me and Lorenzo hadn't talked, you know, for a while, you know. Truth be told, like, you know, a year went by because Lorenzo's busy. He's always got something going on, you know. And
it's one of the biggest podcasts out there.
Yeah,
you know,
he just goes viral every other 5 minutes.
Just making money.
It's funny because he would ask me, you know, like back when TikTok was popping for me, like in the beginning, like, man, how are you doing this? And in my head, I'm like, I have no idea, but it's working. And then now he's the one. They're all like, you tired of going viral yet? Like, you know, he's going, you know, he's doing his thing. And so me and Vega hadn't talked for almost a year. And it was me, like, out of anger and just mad at the world. I said, man, I shit you not, man. I said, you know what? I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. But when I go do this and I figure it out, trust me, I will. And a year from now, I'm going to control the narrative. I'm going to be running this. And, like, I wanted to build this. To be honest with you, I was talking shit. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not. I was just mad and ranting. And he calls me some months back. He goes, man, you know what's really been bothering me? You know, he got that voice. Yeah. He's like, you know what's been really freaking me, reading me out? I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, remember when you were talking shit and you just told me a year from now, I'm going to be running this and I'm going to be on top and I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. He goes, you fucking called it, dude. You called it. And I was like, yeah. Of course I called it, you know. But, you know, he hits me up, and that's how it started. Was with the Chris Perez thing. He was like, you know, let's make it happen.
I think that goes back to pride, though, real quick. Like, you said that back then, and he was able to remove pride from that and be able to be like, yo, you were right.
Yeah, me and Vega,
a lot of people couldn't do that.
Yeah, me and Vega, people don't know this. We've had a relationship since I was 17 years old. You know,
that's
like
crazy. How'd you guys meet?
He used to throw competitions back in the day, dancing competitions. Really, because he would perform at them. You know, he was doing music.
You dancing, Vega?
No, he was rapping.
Vega had the fucking
smooth Vega. he was actually like one of the predominant rappers in Fort Worth, like that people knew. Like I was like so set on when we won that we had won the crew I was in. We won the first competition. We had a photo shoot with them. I was so set on meeting him that day and being like, "Yo, I do music. I already recorded one song with such and such. Check me out." And I did all that, and I walked up to him, and his exact words were, "That's cool," and walked off.
Oh shit!
Like that's how we technically met. Well, then he went to go pass out some tickets to another dance crew that was all girls, and one of them made a very derogatory comment about me singing, and he was like, "I've never heard a girl say that. I've got to hear this kid sing." So they asked where he would find me. He asked where they would find me, and he always tells a story about me picking me up off the freeway, and people think that that's like a metaphor, but it's really how it was. I used to have to walk to the Northside Boys and Girls Club. It was a gang adventure program, but they would let us break dance there, and Chico and Alfredo actually used to record there, had like a little studio in there.
Oh, dope.
And I would record songs in there. I was a teenager, and I was walking down 121, and he pulled over and was like, "That's got to be him," and he found me, and he gave me a ride, and we talked to him since.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the commitment on your end to make that type of walk is.
It was a 3. Yeah, I mean, honestly, all I had was dance at the time. I was already about either on the verge of dropping out, or I already had did it because I dropped out of school when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I hope. I always hope that, like, I don't care if I get 20 million views or 10 views. I always hope that at least one of those people that watches it gets something from it.
Right.
And I'm feeling that, like, as you're talking right now, because there's so many people that, you know, are passionate about so many things, but it doesn't happen on their timing.
Yeah.
And so they just quit or give up. And you could have done that many a times, but you didn't.
Oh, man.
And now here you are.
Dude, when I was in prison, I shit you not, it just happened just like this. And I called my mother, like, you know, bawling. It was crazy. We were doing an outside event with some Christian charity stuff, people that come to the prisons, and there's a kid named Sweet J. He was a Christian rapper. Apparently, I performed at his high school when he was 15 years old, and that was like a day that Playing Skills Me went, J. Cruz from 97.9, and
Shout out to Cruz.
and this other local rapper named Dustin, and he ended up seeing us, whatever, and he's like, "What? You know, that's a small world. What are you doing in here?" And I'm like, "Man, look, all I could tell you is this." I was like, when you get the limelight, because he asked for advice, so when you get the limelight, it's going to be this big. And there's going to be a bunch of people trying to stand in it with you. It's only meant for you. Run with it, go with it, do it. I said, look, you're about to get in a car and go back to Dallas. They're yelling out, "Offender, come back in." Stay blessed, bro. I went inside, and I shit you not, the first commercial that pops up was Leon Bridges on a Target commercial, and he was my backup singer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It gets worse. The Billboard Awards were on, and I saw Becky G give out an award to Cardi B. I was on the same label with her when we were 18 years old. I was 18 years old.
Damn.
That's how I know Becky. So I lost it. I called my mom. I said, "I think I lost my chance." I said, I think I missed my shot. I really do. She was like, "Well, I will tell you this. That's not up to you.
Yeah.
So come home and make it right." And here we are.
That's so crazy,
Yeah.
bro. And to go back to the Chris song, you were telling me off the air that the video is basically like a mini movie.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we got the homie JT Campos,
Yeah.
Boaz, hanging out one time, and he's in the video, right?
Yes. So I reached out to JT and I was like, "Look, bro, I got one for you. This fits you solidly."
Did you guys have a relationship?
Yeah.
Prior, like you guys have met and stuff.
Yeah. So again, back to, not to bring it up so much, but back to when I was incarcerated, my favorite show was Queen of the South every Thursday, and Boaz was my favorite character. When he would come, that's when the homeboys knew. We get up, "Hell yeah, y'all couldn't get it done. Boaz had to come do it. Yeah, woo woo
He's
woo."
a savage, bro. Just fucking killing everybody. Family didn't matter.
Yeah, so I fell in love with the character, and I ended up being in the studio at Bruce Bang's studio working with Baby Bash. This is about 2021, and I had been home for almost a year, and JT walks in, but he's like, "Hey, you know where the bathroom's at?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's over there, man. How you been?" Because I knew I noticed him, recognized him from somewhere, and then I couldn't put two and two together, and I turn around, I'm working, and 30 seconds, and my mind passes by, and me just pondering on it, and then I said, "No way." And then he comes back in here, I'm like, "Hey, are you?" He was like, "Yeah, JT, nice to meet you." I'm like, "What the hell are the odds of this?" So then we became cool after that. Even with people trying to bogart us from being friends, people trying to protect, just trying to be, in the middle, messy,
mediating shit.
Yeah, trying to be in the way. Like there was a couple of nobodies that were doing that, and they, me and JT ended up. That Divine Faith, we just reached out to each other and was like, "Man, hey, well, I heard that you could." "No, I heard you." And then it was like, "Oh man, when they come on." So I ended up calling JT and I was like, "Hey man, I got this idea for a song, and I want to talk about what it's like being a Texas Mexican, having Mexican roots, but being from Texas and like with this country shit. Like They keep saying I'm not country. I want to let them know I don't care. We are, and we're not asking no more. We're taking it, and if you want to come take it. So that's where I came up with the idea of come and take it, my record. So I told JT, I said, man, come down to the studio, and he came to the studio, and there was other people that weren't supposed to be there, and it didn't even matter because we made a banger together, bro. Me and JT, I told JT, I said, I just need you to say some really cool words. They call us a lot of names, except the ones that are true.
Is he talking the mic? You're 45 feet away,
bro. I was waiting for the light to go on.
No one's gonna hear you.
So they call us a lot of names, Tino.
Okay.
Except the ones that are true.
Oh shit.
So what happened to the red, the white, and the blue?
What happened to freedom? Remember you said freedom?
Yeah, what happened to freedom?
Yeah. The red, the white, voice, the blue. Bro. Like if he talks, you just get scared. Like, oh,
so that was the whole point of having. I was like, I need that voice in there. I was like, come on with me. And so we do that, and I came up with the idea of wanting to kick down the doors of country music. Not only like, just the way I'm doing it now, but also like metaphorically, like do it in the video. So, we got the country music doors. We got doors and made it say country music, and I literally kick it down so everybody can run through. And that's how we built our relationship there, man. And after that, it was just like, couldn't get rid of the motherfucker.
JT,
I'll pull up on him whenever he needs me.
Don't fuck up his career.
I won't. I won't. I'm a sniper on the roof for him, bro. I'm a sniper on the roof for Louie, bro. I'm part of Louie Army.
He might make a mess in the dressing room sometimes, but it's okay. We love Jay.
Oh shit.
They might call us and tell us, hey, JT's dancing on the merch booth again.
That sounds about right.
But man, we love him, man, and there's a camp, and he cooks some really mean chicken quesadillas. So.
Oh damn, okay. Come on, JT, what's up, man? How's life, bro?
Life is good, my brother, and it only gets better with the blessings. Louie keeps saying it best, bro. I'm not on my time. I'm on God's time. We're all on God's time.
Hell yeah.
And the more people could just recognize the true faith of a beautiful energy like that, we'd all understand that we're not on our time. That's the only way you make God laugh, man. Tell him what you want to do, right?
Yeah. I heard that before. Yeah. I'm sad that I missed you. We were just in Vegas. We were out there for the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and you were out there hanging out with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
This full FaceTime. Where were we at, Mike? It was like 3 in the morning. I think we were at Jewel or something. And this fucking dude's at Dre's with fucking Wiz all just smoking that good shit.
Yeah. He called me. He was like, I'm with Wiz Khalifa right now. I'm about to play him EYA. And that song stands for Eat Your Ass.
I haven't heard it yet. He told me about it last night, and I was like, bro, I need to hear this.
So he was like, he was like, they didn't let me record, but he heard it and was like, that's crazy. I was like, yeah.
I just love the song.
It's funny, I told people online, I was like, man, I don't write these songs, God does, and there's one guy commented, he goes, I don't think God wants any credit for EYA.
He's like, you wrote that one, Louie.
I was like, all right, I wrote that one.
Your perspective looking into it, I know we've been talking for a minute, we'll wrap things up, but your perspective on country currently, what do you think? Because for me, I'm from Texas. I know country. I'm more of a like classic country guy. But right now, it feels like country's like the cool shit, bro.
Yeah, it's like the new swing, But for me, man, apparently I'm not country. I'm my own little thing. I don't know, but I think that's what's different with me. I'm not trying to sound like nobody. I'm not trying to do certain things, But as far as country as a whole, man, we got dope artists from like Morgan Wallen to the Kane Browns, even like the traditional sounding newer guys like Cody Johnson, and of course can't forget Jelly Roll, who's just like, if it wasn't for Jelly Roll, like cats like me might not have even had a chance in a weird way. Of course he does cater to a different demographic, let's just be transparent, but man, he's definitely, he's gonna go down as one of the GOATs of changing this shit up, and I support it.
Well, I think it was dope. So for me, I'm not like, so I'm half white, half Mexican, but I definitely relate more to my, just Mexican side. The problem is I'm not super fluent in Spanish. I can hear shit and pick it up and be like, okay, I know what it is, but when it comes time to respond, I'm like, ugh.
Same.
But I'm so prideful, and so like when I go to certain shows, like it's just in my blood, you know what I mean? And so like I'll go to a whatever, like a Bad Bunny show or some shit, and just Latino in general, it's so packed, and when I'm standing there and I feel the screams and shit, I'm like, man, like this is fucking Latino shit. Like same thing, like when a Mark Anthony show or a Cumbia King show or whatever, I always feel that, and we haven't really had that in country. And so that was one of the first things when I started seeing your stuff. I didn't think he's on country. I was like, oh shit, we got a Latino, we got a Mexicano representing,
and what's crazy is
country. Like that's dope.
Yeah, there's other Latinos that have done country music, and I think what their problem was they wanted to do what was told or expected of them as a country artist. I've never been really good at doing what I was told ever, and it shows with me, doing music. And my manager said anybody that's ever had a big shake up of music or change up went against the grain.
1,000%.
And it's funny because I never meant to. Like I only involved things I grew up with, like the lowriders in the videos, like at my grandma's house in Nichols and Diamond Hill. All they did was work on hydraulics with the cars. So she lived second house from the corner, so we got to see them test out 3-wheel motions, the hops up and down there. That's what I grew up seeing. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the same thing with the horses. I grew up going to coleaderas. My grandma collected the money at the gate. Her sister and her husband was the one that threw them. We warmed up the horses, and we hate to say it, but we tased the, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We made them run so that they could flip them. And that's what we grew up seeing. And being around that, and so it's just like. And then I grew up, listening to the hip hop, listening to the Selenas of the world, and then here we are with the same guitar that I heard on, the Selena records. He used that same guitar in my song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
bro.
even crazier to me. That really freaked me out. I was like, what?
Those are like those moments that no one will really understand the way you understand it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like if it wasn't for my mom like blasting Selena every Saturday when it was time to clean the house, I mean, I don't know if it'd have been so, because she did the same thing with Michael Jackson, Selena, Garth Brooks. And none of that makes sense unless you're from Texas. Like,
yeah, for
so,
sure.
That here we are. But
JT, when you see everything that's happening for Louie right now from outside looking in, what's your perspective?
Man, I'm just really happy to see this energy moving the way it does. The fact that I could just be here, a fly on the wall, along for the show. Man, I can't really put it into words. I'm not gonna lie. Just watching him continue to evolve and grow. This guy's got the whole world by his hands right now. His music will hold the space and the place of time, and that's just exciting for me to see.
It's cool to see, man. It's a dope journey.
Definitely a journey
to see, and like I said, you just kind of feel proud to be like, oh shit, like I'm glad to have this conversation now, because I know when you sell out some arena and we're outside, I'm like, yo, remember we came to the studio, we did that shit. Like that's gonna be cool. So just final thoughts, comments, concerns, man. Maybe something we didn't talk about that you want to throw out there. You let me know.
Be ready for new music. I got a bunch of new music coming out. Be ready for a big announcement. November is going to be crazy. Just pay attention in November. Just know that November I'm going to be having a lot of big looks. Man, the $10,000 giveaway, don't forget that. Guys, 3 or 4 days left. Man, the record with Chris Perez, that's going to have one of the biggest videos, my biggest production to this day. Like I've done a lot of great videos, a lot of big videos, a lot of great ideas. Like the one with Paul was very extensive and thoroughly thought through. This one, I went all the way in on this one, so just be ready, like I'm an artist, man. Like not only do I write these records, I fill out the videos. I want my visuals to represent the music as big as it can, because it's my craft. I'm sensitive about my
and the video's done, it's ready to go.
As far as shooting, yes. As far as the ADR work, because we went in the studio actually just 2 days ago and redid a lot of the vocals on the thing, on the video. We're waiting really just for post-production, but I've got so many other videos that I've still already shot that are gonna come out before that. Like I might, like this coming month, I might drop 2 videos just cause. And then people know me. Like the last 3 months, that's how I really been rocking. But the reason I only dropped 1 this month was because of the giveaway. I wanted to focus on that for the month. And
plus it's cool just seeing your recaps on the cities you're going to and shit like that. You're still giving people a fix.
Yeah. I don't want to take, and I want to take from that. You're right. But at the same time, man, music, and people know me, like I write so fast, like it's just because it's just I don't even write music. I go in there, bro, and I don't
figure it out.
I just, man, it's really kind of creepy if I look from the outside in, but I just been doing it so long. I think that's how it started, like why it's easy. But with that being said, I have a lot of music backed up to where I just want to drop, and a lot of artists' problems is they can't get them in with writers. They can't get them into new songs, and because the truth is being an artist, you can't just drop any song. Yeah. This hit might not be a hit for you, but it'd be a hit for this guy. So with that being said, a lot of people have problems figuring out what's with me. I don't have a problem figuring out nothing because I'm just writing about me, how I feel about women, which is definitely cool, and how I feel. EYA, you know what I'm saying? I write about love. I write about not being in love. I write about wanting to be in love. I write about real pain because I was really in pain. So I've just got a lot of music backed up. So just be ready for that.
There it is. Louie Thesinger, ladies and gentlemen. Show some love. Buy some tickets to the show. And pay attention this November.
Yes. Mm-hmm.